a king that God put in that position just to reign. And never should the king test the God from which he came, or the king gon' need a prophet to come explain the dream.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order.
I fail every time, I swear I'm in control. What good is it to gain the world and lose your soul?
At the time I'm recording this, about 1 month has passed since the 2024 Super Bowl. And now I don't really follow sports, so I couldn't tell you who won the game or even who played in it for that matter. But that wasn't enough to protect my social media feeds from becoming inundated with news about the Super Bowl, But very few of those headlines had anything to do with the actual football game. It seemed instead that everybody was either arguing about whether or not Taylor Swift is a PSYOP or arguing about the Jesus commercial, the He Gets Us one. And I'm not making this video to weigh in really on either of those issues directly, but it does set the stage for what I want to share with you. And I mean, as far as the Taylor Swift PSYOP thing goes, well, of course that's true. But then again, the whole Super Bowl itself is a PSYOP, because the entire entertainment industry is a PSYOP. And it's weird to suddenly see this term PSYOP getting thrown around by people who don't even seem to understand what it means or represents. And I guess I'm glad that people are starting to think about these things, but if you're one of these guys who are calling out Taylor Swift while simultaneously wearing your favorite team's jersey and skipping church to watch the Super Bowl, then you're part of the problem, and you still don't get it. PSYOP is a military term, and it stands for psychological operation. And this encompasses a wide range of military tactics that involve the use of propaganda to influence the perceptions and attitudes and hopefully the behavior of your enemy. So in layman's terms, these are military operations that are designed to control and manipulate and pretty much just mess with the minds of the opposing force. It could also be called psychological warfare. It's a real thing, it's not a secret, and your local library is probably filled with history books and literature that could teach you all about it. But the important distinction here is that it's a military tactic. It's related to warfare. It's something that's used against an enemy. And so if it's true that the military-industrial complex is engaging in psychological operations against we, the American public, well then it begs the question, are we the enemy of our rulers? And I think I know the answer to that question. And deep down, I think that you do too. Let me explain. The story of this Swiftie PSYOP thing is supposedly about the upcoming election. And the apparent motive of this conspiracy is that Taylor Swift and the NFL are in cahoots to somehow bolster support for Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. But if you actually read any of these mainstream articles about the whole Taylor Swift PSYOP thing, then you're going to see that they're really just hit pieces designed to diminish and ridicule the very concept of psychological operations, as if the idea was invented by conspiracy theorists, and they couch it in a way that trivializes the suggestion that a PSYOP could ever be directed at the American public. And so the reader is supposed to come away with this impression that things like PSYOPs only exist in the imaginations of conservative conspiracy nuts. But here's the ironic part, and the kind of hilarious part, because when you see the corporate media suddenly pushing out all these dismissive and critical headlines that are clearly designed to downplay the reality of psychological warfare, well, that itself is a great example of how psychological operations actually work. So it may just be that the real PSYOP is to push this story about a fake PSYOP to influence the public to dismiss the real PSYOPs. And so if that's the case, I guess it's kind of brilliant, enough to make my head hurt. But the point is that the motive of our modern media here in America in 2024 and our modern entertainment industry is clearly intended to persuade and prime people like you and me into supporting certain causes and to accept changes that we would otherwise reject. So if that seems to you like it would fit the description of a PSYOP that I just described earlier, then congratulations, you are now a crazy and dangerous conspiracy theorist. And that's why you haven't seen me jump on this bandwagon, because the subscribers of this channel could have told you that Taylor Swift was a PSYOP ever since her face first popped up on a magazine cover. Because that's what this manufactured culture of celebrity is. And it's not difficult to understand why the ruling class would utilize such things like the Super Bowl and popular music and entertainment and pop stars and football stars to advance their agendas. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. What would you do if you were an evil dictator who intended to brainwash and enslave your own population? What would Hitler do with this type of power at his disposal? Would you not take advantage of having the media and entertainment complex at your disposal? I mean, wouldn't that be convenient to rule over a society that's filled with people whose lives already revolve around that very same media complex that you control? I mean, if you wanted to indoctrinate people, would there even be any better way to do it? And what if you noticed that your propaganda was actually working, that people were responding to the programming? And what if you could actually get those people to voluntarily fill their own homes with TVs and radios and all these different broadcasting devices that could allow for your propaganda broadcasts to just indoctrinate them around the clock? Over time, you could probably get them to do all types of crazy things like surrender their rights or mutilate their bodies or kill their own children, or kill their own parents. Perhaps you could even get some to kill themselves. And maybe that would be the reason that you ever built those platforms in the first place, if you were an evil dictator. And maybe you think that I'm being a little too dramatic or sensational here, to imply that our nation is in the clutches of an evil dictator. But I think that if you consider this through the lens of Scripture, it'll start to make a lot of sense. Because, my friends, the truth is that there really is an evil dictator at the top of all this. And he really is using these platforms to influence humanity. And he can do this because he's the chief commander of the entire system. And it's not Joe Biden, and it's not Donald Trump, and it's not Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Klaus Schwab or any of these people. The evil dictator is Satan himself, and he's real. And according to the Bible, in John 12:31, he's the ruler of this world. And according to 2 Corinthians 4:4, he's the God of this world. And he is the true leader who sits at the top of this dystopian pyramid scheme that dominates our fallen world. And so I don't worry too much about things like Taylor Swift or the Super Bowl or the political puppet show in Washington, D.C., because as far as I'm concerned, it may all just be a psyop. And I can't sit here like Alex Jones and provide the documents and pictures and evidence to expose the culprit, because the culprit of all of this is not a corrupt politician or a secret society, or a group of people that you can see with your eyes and I can point to. No, it's a spiritual force. Because right in Ephesians 6:12, the Bible says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Earlier I pointed out that psychological operations are a military tactic that are designed for the purpose of warfare. And then I attempted to demonstrate how our modern media operates no differently from a military psyop. And then I asked the question, are we perceived as the enemy of our rulers? Well, in the biblically true context of Satan being the true leader of these worldly systems, then sadly, the answer to that question is yes, we are definitely the enemy. People like you and me. Because Satan hates you and me with a burning passion. He hates it that we were made in God's image, and he hates it that God loves us. He hates it that you and I are God's most cherished creation, because ultimately, he hates God. The word Satan itself, it literally means adversary and accuser. And once you understand this, you're going to begin to understand the motive behind all these insane things that have been going on in this world lately. You'll understand the purpose behind the trends that otherwise seem insane, like the transgender movement that targets children, or the godless school curriculum for that matter, and things like Planned Parenthood or the cancel culture and so on. These movements are not crazy. They actually make a lot of sense when you consider that the end game of our enemy is to desensitize and to dehumanize humanity, to guide us away from God. It's a pretty brilliant strategy, actually, when you think of it that way, and it's going well. And through this lens, you will also start to recognize the true depths of the propaganda that surrounds us, and you'll come to realize that the real common denominator of all this has nothing to do with celebrities or politicians or profit or any of this temporal stuff. The common denominator is blasphemy against our God. That's the one constant theme that holds all of these radical agendas together. It's about the refusal and the mockery of God's will for us and his commandments for humanity. That's why they want you to create a fake identity and to mutilate your body and to kill your unborn child. It's not because our leaders receive any real gain or benefit from these things. It's not a response to popular public demand, and it's not because woke politicians actually believe any of it. The real purpose of these things is simply to confuse and to oppress and to objectify and to degrade and to humiliate and ultimately to murder the human being. Because again, the real ruler of this system is Satan himself, who hates us. And the real war is spiritual in nature. And this brings me to the final part of this little rant, because speaking on Satan and PSYOPs and the Super Bowl, I was thinking about that He Gets Us commercial, you know, the Jesus one, which ran during halftime and apparently cost over $17 million. I saw it, and I listened to a bunch of Christian commentators criticize it, and personally, I wasn't offended by the commercial. But then when I was looking into this, I came across a different Super Bowl commercial, one from a year back that makes a mockery of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And I'm gonna show it to you guys in a minute, but when I watched it, I was reminded of those old Red Bull commercials from when I was younger that also mocked the Garden of Eden in a similar way. And so I decided to look it up on YouTube. You know, I searched the Red Bull Garden of Eden commercials, and I discovered that there's been all types of these commercials throughout the years. And it occurred to me that this is the biggest PSYOP of them all. All these people down here who think that these industries are entertaining us for the sake of our own enjoyment, you know, but all the while, we've just been getting programmed and indoctrinated against a belief in God, against following Christ. And so I can't tell you about what's going on with Taylor Swift and the NFL or anything about that PSYOP, but I think I know exactly who is behind this one.
All right, next up, it's Avocados from Mexico's spot featuring actress Anna Faris.
Eve, what's going on?
I might have taken a small bite. Adam.
I'm naked! Hey, try this. They make everything better.
Avocados from Mexico.
It's a perfect day in the big avocado. Midtown is traffic free. In fashion, naked is all the rage.
You were right. Avocados make everything better.
Ah, sweet liberty.
Now that's a tourist attraction.
We have the real life Eve right here.
Oh, yes.
Good
yes.
morning.
All her innocence.
Oh, yes.
Hello. Try a delicious apple. Contains all the knowledge of the universe.
Look, I know you're Satan. If I eat this apple, we're gonna have to start wearing clothes and worrying about things like tax brackets and counting carbs. So, no thanks.
Hindsight is easy. It's thinking ahead that's hard. But that's how Liberty Mutual serves our customers and why we're one of the world's leading insurance companies.
You never know when you'll need a big wagon. And the 1967 American Motors builds big wagons. See them at your American Motors Rambler dealer now.
Hey, Adam. Later, Eve.
Adam?
Stop it. That's not my rib.
This is your Uncle Noah. Quick, we've no time to lose. 40 days of range to flood the earth in a minute. Close your windows. Go to your Arco service station. Get a mom and a papa tiger, elephant, giraffe. Forget about ladybugs. There are no fella bugs. You'll get one animal family free of charge, already housebroken, whenever your parents get 8 gallons of gas. Then find out about this Noah's Ark. Children, go to your participating Arco dealer. Tell them Noah sent you.
Adam, I have to tell you, that fig leaf, it does nothing for you.
It's comfortable? Okay, what should I wear?
A totally new kind of brief. These new ribbed whites from Fruit of the Loom.
Ribs for Adam. That's cute, Eve.
More than cute. The new ribbed cotton fabric, it moves with you. It's more comfortable. It's
nice.
And the new Cuts trimmer.
It hugs my body better.
Most tempting thing since the apple.
Somebody say apple.
We feed America
with our new ribbed whites.
We're Fruit of the Loom.
Thousands of years ago,
the world was introduced to a vehicle that could travel in some of the worst weather and hold plenty of cargo. Today, another such vehicle is introduced, only this one has a lot more horses. Introducing the 130 horsepower four-wheel drive Subaru Legacy Wagon.
Adam and Eve used to get on well, but Eve ribbed Adam about his smell. So a snake said, Adam splashed us on. Autumn came and their leaves were gone. Samson's hair was very long. He believed it made him strong. Said, a lilac, when it shines, a man can read between the lines.
Got a good snack that comes in twos?
Introducing Burger Buddies, little mini cheeseburgers, 2 for the road.
And no pickles for the penguins.
To make a great little snack, sometimes you gotta break the rules.
Agent O, werken bij je kou.
The Nissan Pathfinder with intuitive four-wheel drive. An adventure worth sharing. Nissan, innovation that excites.
All right, so you get the call. Hey, we want you to do a Super Bowl ad. First of all, what was that call like?
It was thrilling. I've never done a commercial before.
Period.
I mean, like it's a couple of regionals, not for lack of trying. So, like for this to be a Super Bowl commercial feels like one of those moments of like high school, like revenge.
Yes, it's happening. So wait, when they told you what it was, how it was going to play out.
So Avocados from Mexico wanted me to play Eve. Our ad tells the story of what would happen if Eve took a bite of an avocado instead of
the apple.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great premise.
Oh no, oh yes, this is critical. Oh no, oh yes, this is chemical. Oh no, oh yes, this is critical. Oh no, oh yes, no man can walk alone. 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 Oh no, oh yes, this is critical. Oh no, oh yes, it's pretty chemical. Oh no, oh yes, no man can walk alone. I'm living like you and the whole world walks with me. I'll praise you and I won't fall on my knees. No man can walk alone. Can walk alone. I believe.
Feliz fin del mundo. Nuevo Axe 2012, el último Axe.
I'm Adam.
New irresistible Mirinda apple flavor. It's quite a temptation.
Adam, she's all yours.
Taste the Atka. Mirinda.
don't know. Some paradise this place is turning out to be. Oh, morning, Eve. Got anything on today? Now, what's the matter?
I'm not talking to you. Someone's eating all the fig leaves again now. I wonder who that could be,
Well, don't look at me, darling. The only thing I've got hidden is a red ball.
Red Bull? Looks more like a slimy snake if you ask me.
No, it's liquid stimulation for body and mind. Red Bull gives you wings.
Okay, I'll try anything once. But are we allowed to fly in the Garden of Eden?
Floods are an age-old problem, and we're often underprepared for them. Which is why NRMA Insurance, in partnership with the New South Wales SES, are trialling Dipstick, a flood monitoring device that sends an alert when waters rise. It's just one of many ways we're innovating for a safer tomorrow. Get confidence by your side with NRMA Insurance.
Fruit of the Loom Ladies' Panties presents her story. First came man, then came woman. In ways they were different, but that was fine. Then came Fruit of the Loom for men. That was fine for him, but not for her. Then, thank goodness, came Fruit of the Loom Panties. Same quality, value, and comfort, but in feminine styles and soft pastels made just for her. And all was fine. For a while. Fruit of the Loom Panties, created just for women.
One day, many years ago...
Taste this. Chocolate and peanut butter. Hey, it's great together. You know who'd like this? Noah.
You mean the guy building the ark?
Yeah, but he loves chocolate and he loves peanut butter.
Let's bring him some. As soon as it stops raining.
And so the world would have to wait for the two great tastes that taste great together in Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Nah, I'm good.
It's an idea that's been around for a pretty long time. At Southwest Airlines, we call it Friends Fly Free. Just buy a full unrestricted fare, and a friend comes along absolutely free. Of course, like any great deal, it doesn't last forever. So purchase your tickets by October 3rd. Because you don't want to get left behind.
You are now free to move about the country.
Securus rotudus?
Dulces.
Securus bestiole buffondus? Sepultus matabutus, daga. Idioticus imbecile. Fabricus reformo optime. Divinus odor sensualis.
Vanilla Mozzie creates eco-friendly, handmade Australian products that include a beautiful Vanilla Mozzie skin cream and natural mosquito repellent candles. Vanilla Mozzie protects naturally and perfect for the kids as well. Divinus odorus sensualis.
Yes! A strong cold front from the north will meet up with the warm, humid air over the desert valley. This will produce severe thunderstorms. The extended forecast calls for 40 days and 40 nights of rain, so you might want to build an ark. This big by this big.
What's an ark?
It looks like you had to shoot most of the commercial.
Yes, I did. I think I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yes, the wardrobe that was set out in my trailer was, those jelly, like, the end of the day, those were getting a little rough. But I was really,
Do you have to just exhale and make it happen?
Yes, that was the thing. Like, it's like I'm 46. I love it that Avocados from Mexico wanted to hire a 46-year-old Eve.
Yeah.
And that I was like, I could either fight this all day and feel modest and be like, cover me up, but I didn't think that Eve would ever.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? She's an innocent.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you
it was all
embraced it.
method action.
Yeah.
After 40 days of this, Noah, I bet you wish we'd brought some Wilkins coffee instead of those silly elephants.
Round Round announces the biggest rib story since Adam.
Eve, I'm hungry.
Can I tempt you with a rib?
That's not funny, Eve.
At the Ground Round, Adam, their great rib special. Save $2 on their tangy full rack.
I remember when I had a full rack.
Or half a rack with top sirloin steak. Or save $1 on a half rack with boneless chicken.
Oh, great. What's for dessert?
Well, I've got this apple.
Round Round $6.95 rib specials, the most tempting offer since the beginning of time.
Finding the Garden of Eden? Difficult. Getting you more money from the insurance company? Easy. I'm attorney Rob Levine, the heavy hitter.
Call 1-800-LAW-1222.
We all know Eve changed the world by breaking one small rule in the Garden of Eden. But what if she could have made it all better by taking a bite of an avocado?
What is going on?
I might have just taken a small bite.
Uh-oh, I'm naked. Whoa!
Hey, Eve, try this.
What is it?
Avocados from Mexico. They're always good.
Well, it's another perfect day in the Big Avocado. Traffic is joyful on all major highways. The stock market is in the green at an all-time high. Again.
Hey, I love you. No, I love you.
It's an avocado, and one more thing, it's also a phone. In fashion news, naked continues to be all the rage. Hey guys, notice anything different about me?
Adam, quit trying to make pants a thing.
Clothing? Could you imagine?
Fine, I'll take them off.
Always good, never forbidden.
Avocados from Mexico.
you were in the Garden of Eden yourself, what would be the one thing you couldn't resist? What would be the one temptation you couldn't?
How? You know, I don't know why this. Are we talking food? Because my head went to ponies. It felt just really alive the whole day. And the bragging rights I have. And so Brian is a genius. And I really wanted him to use like good, funny takes. Maybe at least attractive takes. Or vanity, right? Yes.
Thank you so much. Congrats on your first commercial. Super collab. Wow. First of many. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing all your avocado friends from Dallas, too.
The avocados from Mexico makes everything better. Yes. Thank you. Truly, they're incredible.
Forbidden fruit, and not to brag or nothing, but I'm pretty much the most amazing apple ever. Atta girl.
Mayhem has been and always will be everywhere.
These things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. He that hateth me hateth my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. And ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning.